I am at 401 North Market Street with Barbara Kershner Daniel, right?
That's right.
Got
That's
it.
it.
Okay. So we've run in a lot of the same circles. I said something to you at your Rotary meeting a couple weeks ago because I've never sat down to chat with you, and we've never worked really closely on anything.
That's right.
So I use this show kind of selfishly as a way to get to know some people who are doing amazing things in our area, and you are one of them.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got here to Frederick, and how maybe we can support what you're doing.
Okay, great. So I'm a native of Philadelphia. I served 2 churches north of Philadelphia for 23 years, and then got a call, which is what we call in our system, to come and interview at the church here in Frederick at Evangelical Reformed United Church of Christ. And I wasn't thinking about moving, but as God often works, I mean, I had this conversation with this group, and I was like, wow, these are my people. And we had kids in high school. One was a freshman, one was a senior. And I thought, this is not a good time to move. But one of my friends wisely said, if I was your age and could go to that church in that city, I would go. Because you're not going to get that opportunity again. Because the pastors stay forever at ERUCC. They're long term. So that's how I got here.
Okay. And when was that?
2006.
Okay.
So I served 17 years till I retired last June.
Yeah. How exciting. Do you have, what was your experience like there?
Oh, so what I really so appreciate about serving that church was I could be the kind of minister that I thought I was called to be. I always thought the church should not be in an ivory tower separated from the community. And ERUCC is definitely a church that encourages its members and its pastor to be leaders in the community. So I really had permission to be involved in the community in a lot of different ways. And so I was able to lead things, but also the congregation could participate. And I think that goes to our core value of we're part of the community, and we want to be a part of building a healthier, more sustainable, more joy-filled Frederick, even though it's already a great place.
It is, but it is nice. It puts the icing on the cake, so to speak. Is there any kind of one thing you're especially proud that you did while you were there?
Yeah. So I'm going to say, can I do 2 things?
Of course you can.
So our church, my predecessor helped to found the Religious Coalition, which is now Beyond Shelter.
Yes.
And I was very proud to be part of the group that helped to raise the funds for the family shelter.
Oh, very nice.
I mean, we did provide space in one of our buildings for a rotating shelter, but from the time that started, I thought this is not sustainable. It's not good for kids to have to pack up every day and move somewhere else. So really proud of that.
Yeah, that's great.
And then the other thing I got involved in, again, through the Religious Coalition, was coordinating the Frederick City school supply drive.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was able to do that for 12 years. And I loved school supplies. I loved shopping for them. I loved the mechanics of, how do we get, 1,700 kids and their parents through here, and I just really was proud of that project. And the last year we did it in person. We had over 200 volunteers.
Wow.
And we gave school supplies to almost 2,000 kids.
Holy goodness, that's
and
amazing.
they all came in. They would pick their backpack and go down the tables and get what they needed. And for me, it had two things that were wonderful. One was kids got to choose their supplies. Secondly, it gave people in the community a chance to see who's receiving their donations, but also to get a face of our families that are struggling. It's not like they don't work. It's just like it's hard.
Yes, for sure. I was on the board of the United Way. It's very, very. It literally could be the neighbor right next door to you who's working and just not making ends meet. We all get that. So retirement, what is that like?
Well, So one of my friends gave me a chart that had like the 4 stages of retirement. And the first one is travel, vacation. The second is loss. You
kind of grieve day by day?
Yep. And then the third stage is trial and error. You're trying stuff out. And then the fourth stage is where you kind of settle into a new way of being. So I spent the first 8 months traveling everywhere, visiting family, friends, going here, there, and everywhere. And then I started this year to try some things, you know, like, okay, I'm going to try this, see how it feels, try that, see how it feels. Because one of my friends gave me a postcard that said, your new word is no. Because
now that you're retired, right. Everybody's like, well, Barbara
you
can
have
do
time.
it.
You have
Barbara,
time. Yeah,
Barbara's got time.
And I thought I did what I usually do, working on something. I'm reading, I'm talking to people, and I found that there were a lot of people who retired that were so glad to have time that they just filled it up,
right.
And they were just as busy as they were when they were working.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, if I'm traveling, first of all, I can't say yes to anything because I'm not around.
Right.
But it also gave me some time and space to think about what I wanted to work on. So I love not having pressures of writing a newsletter, article, or coming up with something pithy to say every week. I do miss the church community because
Sure.
I have an agreement not to be involved with the church until a new pastor comes.
Right.
So that's a loss of that
sure.
community. But it gives me a chance to visit some of my colleagues. So I'm visiting all kinds of churches and
that's
having
great,
fun that
actually.
way.
You get an
and I'm so
opportunity to
proud of
do
my
that.
colleagues. I'm like, I really heard a good sermon today. Yeah, you're good. I didn't know how good you were.
That's great, though. That's really great. And have you found the things you're saying yes to yet, or you're still waiting?
I'm still working on that. I'm doing some voter registration. I'm very concerned about, what's happening with our election. So I'm working on voter registration, doing some things with Rotary, just once and done projects. And I have time now. I can go out to lunch with people that I couldn't do before. And I joined a cooking club and I don't even like cooking. So that's my mom thinks that's the funniest thing in the world. So
that's great, though. Well, there's your new skill.
That's my
there
new
you
skill.
go. You're going to check that off.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing the impact that you have when you decide to say yes,
Thank you.
because I know it will be great, and I know that church is probably suffering a little bit of the loss too. Waiting for a replacement because it's going to be hard to replace you.
Well, thank you.
Are you involved in that process at all, or no? So
no.
it's completely left up. You're done. And
so what
I get
most
that,
of us
though.
do is
I get
you help prepare them to say this is a transition. Change is not good or bad. It's change.
Yes.
So this is really an opportunity for the congregation to think about who they are, where they're headed, which is they did that hard work before I came, and it made my time so wonderful because they had done that work.
Yeah.
And I was the right person after they had done that work and said, okay, this is what you need, and this is who I am, and it's a good match.
Yeah, good match.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they find that again soon. I know that they will. And we look forward to you being a part of our Frederick community even longer.
Well,
thank you so much.
Oh, it's so great to
Appreciate the time.
have the time to talk with you.
It's wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you.